Thank you for tuning in to the Electric Church Podcast. My name is Craig. I am the host and founder of the Electric Church Podcast. On this episode, I was joined by one Benedict Hoge, and he is the regional manager, I believe, of Shoe Sensations. And he is into community basketball and I think softball and all sorts of different stuff. Anyways, we had a great conversation about business and some of the other stuff he's into. He's also just been brought onto a board of a charity organization. And yeah, he does all kinds of cool stuff. So this is the conversation that we had. And we are rolling. Thank you for tuning in to the Electric Church Podcast. My name is Craig. I'm the founder and host. And with me today is Bennie. Bennie, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us about what you're doing here and how you got here and what you do for a living and everything.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, Craig. It's awesome.
No problem.
Always one of my favorite places to come, especially to eat food. Love the Chameleon Cafe. Make sure if you haven't checked it out, people, get to it today. It's worth every penny.
Thank you.
Name is Benedict Hoge. Came to the podcast because Craig asked me to come here. I really like business a lot, so I always have a fascination for it, talking about it. And when he asked me to talk about, different things I've been involved in with this community, trying to help drive, keeping, things local versus traveling or going online, thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about, kind of changes in our society and stuff. But kind of how I got into business originally, my father was a big part of my life to begin with. He was always just business driven. That was what he wanted to do from day one. So when I got into it myself, I never seen myself ever being into retail industry. But, I did take over a store. I guess I'll start from the beginning. I worked at a group home for many years, was there for 5 years, life support services, a nice small mom and pop style business versus a giant corporate one. I like starting small because I love helping people. I love to know that whatever I do makes a difference. I can finance in my life to take care of money, so money doesn't make me happy. So that's what I wanted to stay doing, and I ended up being a manager of a group home for quite a while, which was pretty awesome and loved every moment of it, and I would love to go back and do it. My brother's Down syndrome, so it's always been a place in my heart. I've always helped out, Special Olympics. I was a para in the school to help out in the special education classes for reading and stuff like that. But got there from the group home manager there, and then Shoe Sensation ended up giving me a call and said, hey, we'd like to interview you. We had someone reference you, and I've never even heard of them. They were in our town here in Brainerd, Baxter for almost a year, and I never knew that they were there. So I was like, well, sure, I'll just go and talk to them and see what's going on.
So what year was this?
5 years ago now at this point.
Okay. So how long, you had been at the group home for how long?
5 years.
Okay.
As well. So put my time in there. And then 5 years now with Shoe Sensation currently. But when they had given me a call, it was a shocker that somebody was reaching out to me because I'd never put my name on the internet. I didn't do any job hunts or anything like that. They actually came to me. So it was nice to have someone refer me to them. Ended up taking over the business and running it. It was able to give me insurance, which really helped out. The company I was working for couldn't supply that, and it was nothing against them. And we talked about it, and we totally got it. We left on, solid terms. So got some health insurance there, and basically every year that I was with that company, I've gotten a promotion every single year and just keep climbing the ranks. And I fell into a new sort of love because it's amazing how much your shoes change your life. Your knees, your back, your hips, everything about it. If you got cheap shoes trying to do a 12-hour shift, you hurt by the end of the day. You don't feel good. You feel tired, fatigued, sick. When you can actually get something that makes you feel better and people come in and go, oh, thank you so much. You've changed my life. It still holds that same effect as when I was at the group home helping them to grow as well. So really kind of how I fell into the position that I was in.
All right, cool. So
you mentioned that your dad got you interested in business. Was he a small business owner, or?
Was, yes. He actually worked for Emily Cooperative Telephone. He was manager there for a telecommunications company, and he helped expand them from Emily into Crosby Ironton, and then helped them expand elsewhere. Took them, $1 million plus business and kept him growing. Ended up winning Businessman of the Year award. Got an invitation to go see the president, which he did decline at the time. Just wasn't his interest to go at all. But that's, a cool thing. Only 250 people got it in the U.S., and he got the Small Businessman of the Year award. I mean, his passion for business. And then not only did he work, but he was, a volunteer at so many different organizations that had to do with, community sports. The Bronco League, he really ran that, put all the money together, did all of his time, invested in it, and took nothing in from it. He just wanted to give the community something for the kids to do, help them to grow, help them to, be adults and learn, hey, it's okay to lose. You're going to get better. It's how you improve. Let's go have fun stuff.
Yeah.
But he also was a part of ARC, which helped with the disability group. He donated his time to that. He donated his time to church and different church organizations. He was Knights of Columbus. So he was also
a real community person for sure. Wow.
He was a coach for the boys' 9th grade C squad team, assistant coach, and he did that for many years. He actually just won the assistant coach of the year before he passed a little over a year ago. So that was a pretty, big honor for that.
So he's leaving you some big shoes to fill, huh?
He's leaving our whole family some big shoes to fill, but that's all right. He had a passion, and he drove with it, and he ran, and he always tried to teach us, just be better than yesterday.
Yeah.
That's your step every day, is to just...
Yeah, I mean, nothing like standing on the shoulders of giants, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get knocked down a few times. You're going to, get in tight situations. It's fixable. Mm-hmm. There's A, B, C, and D. You may not like E, but that might be the route you have to go to get out of there faster. So,
sure.
Yeah. So I've always been a passion. So I've had this strive to really get the Baxter location up to $1 million store. And we actually have an opportunity this new year to get Baxter into that $1 million store. So since I've taken over, I've taken that store from about making $650,000 a year. We're up to about $920,000 now. So a year. So
nice.
Within 5 years, we've really done well. And I really think the community that has come and shopped us, we try to treat it more like you're a guest in our location versus being a customer. We're not there for your pocket. We're there for your feet being happy, and your knees, your back. You can buy whatever you want. It makes us happy. We don't work off of commission. Mm-hmm. And I've told my company when they thought about it, I was like, no, I can't work off of commission, because I'm one of those shoppers. If you're working off commission, you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
And I like that our business is about the person first. So people keep returning to us because they're getting a guest service instead of a customer service, and that's how we want it to stay.
For sure. Yeah. When you're shopping, when somebody's paid on commission, like I feel like there's this weird thing, like there could be a better product that's slightly less expensive, but you're going to steer me to the most expensive product because that's where you're going to get the best commission.
You're going to get more money. And I feel bad because we're technically in a sales position, so we have to try to promote shoes and different products and stuff. It's a part of when businesses work. You do different contracts. So when you come in and we're like, hey, it's an ASICS sale, ASICS paid us. That's no different than if you're watching the TV or, the radio's coming over the top. They're the ones going, hey, we'd like to promote ourselves during this time.
Yeah.
You talk about us and just mention us. That doesn't mean you have to buy that shoe, but we're going to let you know what's on sale or what might be the better item. Mm-hmm. And then they'll show you what different price shoes, get a lower price, a medium price, a higher price, so you can really feel the difference of the quality and what's right for you, what's not right. Some people love the arch, some people love the memory foam, some people just love the fashion. So what makes you happy? And that's all we care about.
Mm-hmm. So you don't recommend shoe shopping the way I go shoe shopping?
Online?
No, like go and look a lot and then try on the first thing that's comfortable. Like I buy.
That's the only recommendation I would make
as quickly as possible. That's how I do shoe shopping.
There's a lot of people that do that with us, and that's kind of what's fun is we'll help you do that really quick. If you come in and you say, look, I don't like the shoe shop, I want help, we'll bring you probably 7 shoes of kind of like color styles and stuff that you're looking for and say, try them on and test them out. and we want you to test drive them in our store, because the last thing I want you to do is go home and say, you know what, I don't like these shoes. I want to return them. I have to go back. I want to save you time, you know?
Yeah, you didn't save any time if you're bringing the product back.
Yeah, so we want to save you time. So come in and we're going to help you, you know, go through all that sort of stuff. And then you pick whatever one you want and take it out the store. So instead of you going through the store and looking at hundreds of items, what are you looking for? Let us help you out, and we'll totally go and grab a bunch of them for you. I mean, what ones do you like? What brands do you not like? What's your price point? Everybody's different. Yeah. You know, so it's always fun too. We'll size your foot. A lot of places, you know, do that, don't do that, but we'll totally, especially your kids' feet, they grow so fast. It's crazy. And it's really hard to just come in and buy a pair of shoes for kids. We do have a lot of parents as well that always try to tell us like, oh, it's so hard to shop with my kids and we can't get it done. And they're a nuisance. And I'm like, no, bring them in. I promise you, bring them in. We will take care of them. We'll keep them entertained. You know, we'll give them a bouncy ball or something. I'll take one, you take another. And we really help them to get shopping done easy and fast. So it's convenient. I mean, how would you like to be out, you know, in Kohl's, for example? Tons of people are shopping. You can't find lefts. You can't find rights because people don't put shoes back. And not to be unfair to Kohl's, but one person running a shoe department you can't do it. You can't keep up with the amount of people that come in. I mean, Baxter sees 200 plus people a day. And we have to have 2 people to maintain that store, which is about the size of what the Kohl's shoe department is. So you're in the Kohl's, you're trying to shop, you've got kids running around, you've got other people screaming and yelling, nobody's, you know, it's kind of chaotic. You can't find the right, the left, and then you just leave kind of disappointed. Well, again, if you come to our store, we're going to help you to find it, locate it. If we can also order shoes for you, which is really nice. So instead of, you know, you having to use the kiosk, which takes forever because it is slow. I remembered when I worked there and had to push. Oh, it was just, they need to update a little bit in that fashion. But again, losing that time that you could be gaining back. So I've always looked at, you know, money's replaceable. Time is not. So I'd rather have as much time to myself as I can. And if I can save that, why wouldn't I want to shop local? And you're not getting much better deals anymore traveling different city to city. I mean, you may get some clearance stuff or something like that that's abnormal, but generally what's out there is pretty much the same. And every company is pushing coupons or apps or, I mean, we just went to Bed Bath & Beyond. They got rid of coupons altogether. You buy a membership for $30, you get 20% off the rest of the year.
Oh, well, it blows my mind how much people spend on printing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is
on printing
unreal.
Coupons. Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to ask you how did you, what did you do to increase your sales at the store? What were your marketing methods? And what are you doing? Do you go to seminars? You reading books? How did you get so business savvy, and what did you implement to increase the sales at your store?
Well, I'll start with business savvy. I did go to school for business education. It's what I strive for. I'm really good at numbers, which is crazy to think, because when I was in, you know, first, second grade, I was horrible at math. I couldn't do anything. My parents actually took me out and homeschooled me, because I couldn't do the big giant classrooms. I could do one-on-one teaching. My parents taught me math by playing cribbage. We're just going to play cribbage over and over and over and over, and eventually it clicked.
Yep.
So I was really good at math. I could test well in math. I could figure out math. And then I went to college and, you know, I hit the roadblock with the teachers. I can do that in 10 less steps than you. And the teachers would argue every time, and I'd prove them wrong every single time. And I wasn't doing it to be mean, but I was like, why do I have to write out, you know, 10 steps when I can literally do it in 10, or 10 extra when I can do it in 10 less and get the same number? And they would try over and over to prove me wrong. And they're like, well, this is the way it is. And unfortunately, in college, it's not about if you get the right answer. You have to do it exactly as you are taught. So if you don't write out all those steps, which I could never write out all those steps. I couldn't. For some reason, my mind just... I, you know, cut, multiply, supply. My mind works in a different fashion. So really was well in math, didn't do so well in college, got through college, got my degree, and then fell into this job. And then with this job, my regional vice president, Teresa Borgen, phenomenal. She has been a huge asset in my life and business, just moving up. She is so smart about everything she does, understanding what's going on, how to change, how to present yourself to your team, how to build a team, make them grow. Just the background about marketing as well, and different way that people shop just by looking down the aisles. It's, every business has a marketing scheme that gets you to look somewhere. I mean, the simplest one that everyone knows about is milk being in the back of a store. Everybody buys milk. Well, if you have to go buy the milk, you're going to buy 4 or 5 other items on the way to get it on the way back out. So they place things in certain purposes and colors to make you shop differently. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Black Friday, all these screaming prices everywhere. Black Friday sales are going for 2 weeks before Black Friday nowadays. So really the only specials you're getting are the time. Like if you come in from 12 to 4, there'll be this special deal going on, or this 5 to 6, this special deal. Other than that, you can shop Black Friday for 2 weeks and not have to deal with any traffic or anything. So it's just the marketing and, how they train their shoppers, which is pretty crazy. But Teresa Borgen is the one who's really, like I said, really built up my business. Watching my father my whole life, just the passion he had for something and to make it grow and make it his, and it's something he could talk about. That was mine. I did that and I helped it. So everybody wants to feel like they've done something in life, whatever it may be. And as long as it makes you happy, more power to you. Go for it. Follow it. Again, money doesn't need to speak happiness. Having every item in the world doesn't have to speak happiness. Just be happy with what you want to do and follow it. Know that there's going to be bumps, and then sometimes there's going to be a speed lane that you can just fly 100 down an Autobahn, But what I did a lot too in the business to change it around, guest service. That was the biggest thing, is, treating people like they're a human. So many people, and I mean, it's still out there in the world, unfortunately, racism, sexism, all that sort of stuff, and we hate dealing with it. But so many people see people come in and instantly they think just whatever thought they want to think about them. Maybe they don't have money, or that's a rich person, but that's a mean rich person, or, whatever it is. But as soon as you get that stigma, you're preventing yourself from helping them find what they want. You're shopping with your pocketbook, not their pocketbook.
Sure.
So you got to change your mindset to, that's just a human being. They want to spend money. How can I help them find what they're looking for? And even if I don't have that item, where can I locate it at? I'll go on the internet. I'll look for it for you. I'll tell you where it's at in a different store. I'm not here, again, to take your money out of your pocket. I'm here to help you find what you want to find. That's the end result of it all.
Yeah.
Again, if you're working with someone on commission, they don't want you to go to the next dealership because they're going to lose money on you, period. If that's a better deal, high five, man. Go to town. I'm going to send you that way.
Yeah.
Because I want you to have the best item for you. I like to call it practicality versus fashion. I guess it would be kind of like Crocs. People hate Crocs. They don't like the looks of them. They don't like, and I totally get it. They're not fashionable in any way, shape, or form. They're practical, though. You live out on a farm. They're easy to kick on and off, go outside. You can wash them real quickly. If you're fishing, you can kick them on and off. They don't stink.
Doesn't matter if they get wet.
Yep. If they fall off over the boat, they float. It's practical. That's the purpose of it. So fashion, versus practical use, and you can go either route. I just prefer the practical route. How many, items can I get out of that one specific item? Regardless of the cost, does it benefit me down the long run?
Sure.
So,
yeah. All right. So guest service, number one. What else did you do? Did you change your marketing schemes at all?
Well, unfortunately, our company does a lot of marketing, but we're still a small company, so we don't have a lot of money to spend there. So we couldn't really do anything like pay for billboards, get radio advertisement, do anything like that. So what it came down to is Dr. Murray Smith, Shift Integrative. He's another guy I've learned business through as well. He's taught me, 70% of a business is word of mouth, period. Just in general, that's how it starts. So I used a lot of social media. I'm pretty, been on that. I'm the age that you just grow up with it.
Yep.
But I used a lot of social media. I did a lot of networking as well. I went to chamber events. I went to different organizations where one of them, it was just a afternoon talk, and a bunch of businesses get together and they chit chat and they spread each other's information around and they help spread the word about you. Everybody that's in business is trying to do the same thing. You're trying to grow, trying to develop, trying to offer the community something that they want.
Yeah.
And you can't, if you're too small, you got to get bigger. People don't like when businesses get big. It's kind of fun listening to people and they're like, well, I won't buy name brand, but I'll buy this off-brand. Well, off-brand becomes name brand by you buying off-brand. Champs is a good example of that. They used to be, the $5 shirt at Kmart. Now people are just, you could pay like $40 for a T-shirt for them because I think Kim Kardashian or someone wore Champs one time. So now everybody wants these Champ bags. And,
Really?
Yeah, and they used to be this, Payless had Champs.
Well, I remember when Puma, like Korn wore Puma. And like suddenly Puma went from being like you couldn't afford Adidas or Nike to Puma being like the brand to have.
Yeah. No, and the shoe game is like that. It goes up and down in popularity. One year, it's Under Armour. The next year, it's Nike. The next year, it's DC. The next year, it's Skechers. The next year, it's Vionics. The next year, it's which really kind of some fun news talking about that, thinking about it. We got Hey Dudes in our store.
Okay.
I know, you're like, what? Hey Dudes, right? Well, Hey Dudes is the hottest shoe on the market right now. It's so hot, the company can't make enough product to get out of their business. And then when they finally caught up on product, they couldn't make enough cardboard boxes to get them out of their business. That is how hot they are.
That is a good problem to have.
Right? So here's what's the fun part about it. We're the only family shoe store chain to have that product. Other stores do have it, but we're considered a family-oriented business. We actually put our product onto Amazon, and we have been selling them so fast, they're getting into our stores, and they're moving out of our stores as soon as they're getting there because we ship from our stores. So all the product just keeps rotating all the time, which is nice. For a small business, it allows us to compete with the bigger businesses at this current time.
Yeah.
But we are the only family shoe store that Hey Dudes will sell to, and we are their preferred customer over any other store that wants to buy them. Like, they'll still give them to them, but we're one of the stores that they come to us first in the chain line, and that's what networking does for you. It can move you from not being known to the front of the line. Because, hey, now I know who you are. We've talked. Okay, now let's
golfing,
go. Let's look at the numbers. Oh, the numbers are there. Like, if the numbers aren't there, they aren't going to give you something. You know, there are crooked business people and stuff like that. But again, companies have to make money. They're not going to put somebody there that they think is going to bring their business down.
Right.
You still have to go somewhere with it, because if you don't make money, then you're, look at what's going on around the world right now. There's tons of businesses that have been filing for bankruptcy left and right. So made some bad mistakes, grew too fast, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's the market.
That's the market. That's on them. And, eventually what's happening now is we're just seeing a shift in old business and new business coming in.
Yeah.
Because as all these old ones are leaving, something is replacing it, something we haven't had, something we haven't heard, something we haven't seen. So they're trying to offer something different that we haven't had around here. And what's kind of, fun, too, about being in the Midwest, and I really travel a lot. I love to travel. But we're 5 to 10 years behind the rest of the world. So when we see something going out, they've already been going out everywhere else. It's finally gotten to us, and then when the new things are coming in, well, they're already booming in another part of the U.S. It's kind of the fun part about being from the Midwest is, when you travel, you're like in shock and awe this whole time, and you're like, okay, it'll be here in 7 years about.
Let's swing back to you were talking about online ordering. Excuse me. And you're talking about the way the markets were changing. Quick thought on that. It blew my mind, like the way Sears and JCPenney's started as mail order catalogs, and had been around I think they've probably been around for over 100 years, and they grew into these huge brick and mortar stores everywhere, and then they failed to notice the changing market and didn't successfully launch into online ordering, and are now closing and closing and closing and closing.
Well, a part of that online ordering is it's part of the age as well. The baby boomers have started to pass away, for several years now. That was their target markets. And they failed to supply to the new age generation coming up and giving those online offers as well. They didn't take that leap, and that's where they really took a far hit back, is they just kept living on the consumers that are now in Social Security, welfare, living in retirement. I mean, they have money, but they can't just go out and spend like they used to spend when they work.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to adapt with the business, and if you aren't going to adapt, you're going to get left behind. And now J.C. Penney's, even though they went bankrupt, they're still alive. They're still a business. Really big over in Europe, because Europe still buys that style of clothing and things, but they went to go to be an online retailer, and their business is booming stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah, I bet.
Another thing that's happened with them is they replaced one of their older CEOs. They brought in a young CEO to bring in, new ways, new methods.
Right.
The world's changing, and you got to keep up with it. And, technology, it's my best friend, it's my worst enemy, but when it works, it makes everything so much easier in life.
For sure. Yeah. So when you started at Shoe Sense,
it's a fun tongue twister, isn't it?
Oh my God, I've been practicing saying it, and I'm still struggling. Shoe Sensations. When you started there 5 years ago, did they do online ordering already from your store, or is that something you brought in? Is it something you advanced on?
It was something, our company didn't have online ordering, but we could order store to store. So we knew what we had in all of our other stores and what the quantity was. So we had a method similar to online ordering.
You already had an internet work.
But it wasn't online.
Yep.
So we had to do something different, where we ended up going into online, and you have to pay a lot of money for that to get all the coding
pages.
And
all
I
the
don't
space,
even want to be involved with it, to be honest. It is a headache. Like, people think it'd be fun buying clothing and stuff for retail and work. You have to buy items 2 years out, and guess what the fashion is going to be 2 years from now. I would never want to be that. You are literally rolling the dice every time that you try to buy something. So
but if you get a limited amount of something that's a hit,
it works. Oh man, and it booms like, hey dudes, we hit it at the right time. And it was kind of funny is how we hit it is my boss, Teresa Borgen, she went on vacation to Mexico. She has like a timeshare down there or whatever. So she goes with her man every year. And she looked down at everybody's feet, and all the young people were wearing these Hey Dude shoes, and she's never seen them before. But again, in LA and New York, they're already going around like crazy.
Yep.
So when she seen it, she called the company up and said, hey, I'm in Mexico right now. This is what we need to buy and get on top of it. So our company made a move on it. We got involved, and we got involved when they were small. So now as they grow, we're going to be a preferred, seller, as long as we stay up on taking care of our guests. Yep. We got to do that number one. There's no reason you should be receiving damaged product, 2 rights, 2 lefts, different sizes. So they really are relying a lot on our shoulders as a small company to do a lot for them. I mean,
to represent their company.
This is over DSW, Famous Footwear, which are some really big companies all on their own. And we're kind of competing against them, but we like to be small town. We're based, locally. We want to be that local option for you. How can we save you time? Instead of driving an hour to St. Cloud and then an hour back, well, there's 2 hours. Now you got to go shopping with your kid, 3 hours, possibly 4 hours, and then maybe 5 if you find that extra item in the mall or whatever. Mom and Dad, I'm hungry. Well, there's snacks and drinks. Well, now you're spending more money on the entire day. You can come into our store and we can have everything done in under an hour guaranteed. I don't care how many kids you have, and if you have to buy 10 shoes, let us help you, save you time so you can have that back. Now you can go home and do a barbecue with your family, make it to the kids' Bronco game, different things like that. So that's our ultimate objective.
So, so that was something that came into the
the online ordering.
You didn't initiate it, but it evolved into the company.
I mentioned it, but they were already in the process of getting there. It was just getting the money to do it, because when I started with the company, we only had God, I want to say 120 stores, 121 stores. We're now at about 220 since I've been with them in 5 years. We've really been growing and expanding, which has been phenomenal to go through. It's a lot of work, though. It's, you're bringing in new items, new systems. You got to learn all new things, it's a fun process. You end up getting to really learn the in-depth portion of a business. What's the right moves, what's the wrong moves, what's too quick, what's not quick enough. And there's no right answer in it. It's hard to do because everybody has a different line and a different job. So you can't ever be like, oh, it's your fault that this happened. Well, what you did in a different area could have affected that because they had to do another step on a different job that maybe you didn't correct right, or, so it's really been fun to watch. And as a team, being a small business, my voice matters. I actually get to speak up and say, hey, we should do this differently. Like one of them that I had, instead of the Hey Dude shoes, I brought in the white Crocs. And when I asked for them, my boss laughed at me and she goes, you are absolutely crazy. There is no way I'm going to ask for white Crocs. And I'm like, I'm telling you, there's just something about white Crocs, and they are the hottest thing on the market right now. We need them. Well, 2 weeks later, we ended up setting up relocating a store from one location to the next, getting it to a nicer location, getting next to Walmart. And she's standing next to me, and she looks at me kind of funny, and she picks up her phone and calls an AD in Illinois and ends up asking that person, what items do you need? And she goes, I need white Crocs. And she just looked at me and she goes, okay, you're going to get your way. They've been one of our top selling shoes since we brought them into the company. There's just, sometimes you just get this hunch, and, if you're doing guest service and you're spending time with people, you get to learn about what the people want. So, what do you like? What do you not like? What colors are you interested in? What styles? Like, it's not always about, hey, coming into my store and you can buy this item. No, I want to learn what my market is. What are we looking for? What we buy here in Baxter is completely different in Little Falls, because we have a store in Little Falls too. And they have different shoes from each other because it's a whole different market, and that's only a half an hour away.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
It's really fun to see the different styles and, the colors that people like. To me, it's Christmas in July. You can call it that all the time. And what's kind of fun about Christmas in July in the shoe world is all the new kids' shoes are coming in around July because it's back to school season going into August. We're only like 4 months out from back to school already for shopping. So when that comes in, we get hundreds of all these new kids' shoes, and you open up new shoes every day in the back. It's Christmas in July.
So, you're located in the Westgate Mall there in Baxter, and the one thing I notice every time I go into the Westgate Mall is how many places have shoes. So what do you do to stand out inside the mall itself?
Well, we're finally getting our sign put up on the mall.
Nice.
Been open there, 5 some years, and we've never had a sign. So that'll be a really huge help. But Trade Homes is different than us. They're really more in the specialized shoes. They carry the high-end 100 plus, 150, $200 items. Unfortunately, we can't carry those because we're a family shoe store, and that's the contracts that limit us from getting them. It's like Jordans. We can't touch them no matter how much I'd love to get them for people.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
Yeah.
So... so they're different from us, so that's not even a competition. Most people aren't going to drop $100+ on a pair of shoes.
Yep.
I will.
I saw Foot Locker closed too, so yeah.
Yep, and Foot Locker's going down across the U.S. They've quietly been disappearing, though.
Yeah.
They
have. You're right. They have. I mean, I remember they used to be a big sponsor of just. You would see them like on ESPN, like all the just advertising sort of stuff, and.
Well, who's their big sign, though?
I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
The Jordan shoes. The
Foot
Foot Locker has a contract that locks Jordans for eons upon eons that nobody can sell them. They hit this market.
Okay.
How long has Jordan been out of the market now?
Well, I don't know, at least 20 years.
All the young
Something
kids
like that.
don't know who Jordan is. Like, they know him.
Yeah.
But they know, like, LeBron versus Jordan conversation, but they don't know Jordan. Like,
Sure. Yeah, there's not that obsession. It's not their generation.
So
yeah.
and then they carried LeBrons and things like that, but other companies could carry them. So
Okay.
they weren't the only ones. So now they were
I didn't
in
even
a...
know LeBron had his own shoes.
Oh, yeah, LeBron does. There's guys on there.
suppose
Puma
everybody
just
does.
signed a guy this year. So Puma has a basketball shoe with a NBA star, and Shaq does as well. And
Nice.
like all these companies do. And
Sure.
I mean, in basketball, you can't control your jersey because that has to be mandatory.
Sure.
Look-alike.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
can control your shoes. So that's why guys wear,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so if you're in the
they can, so
NBA
they can get to. So yes, superstars can get with these shoe companies and design their own damn shoes.
Yup, and then all
'Cause
the
it's
kids
the one
want
cool thing
what
that they
Steph
can-
Curry wears, what LeBron wears,
Yeah.
what
Okay.
Giannis wears and stuff like that.
See,
So
like that never made any sense. Like you just explained the whole thing to me.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
It's
Yeah. Plus market. Plus, sponsorship. Like to be able to get your shoes for free and get paid millions of dollars.
right. Like it's crazy, all because other people are buying your shoes. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with skate shoes. Skate shoes is the hardest shoe to ever be consistent on. Because one year it's going to be DC, the next year it's going to be Osiris, the next year it's going to be Nike Skateboard, the next year it's going to be like it rotates based on who is sponsored, and every year is different. Who's the big guy this year? Or who
Yeah.
changed sponsors? Or so it makes it really hard to buy and keep up with those shoes because of that alone. And I mean, once a shoe goes through a year,
Yeah.
it's hard to sell it after a year's worth of having it on the shelf because everybody's on to the next item. I mean, even when it goes to clearance, people will buy it because of clearance, which helps, but it still is a really tough push.
Yeah.
So it's also why, and it's unfortunate, but we don't do a lot of team sport stuff, a lot of cleats. I mean, we have, some football cleats, a generic football cleat, soccer cleat, baseball cleat, stuff like that. But we don't sell enough of them. We're not a sports-oriented store, so not a lot of people come to us to look for cleats.
Yeah.
So we end up buying them. A third of our stores could sell them really, really good, and then the other 2/3 don't sell them good. You lose your money on it, unfortunately, as a business. So it's really hard to stock, but we do it for the people. It's one of our, exceeding guest expectations is our goal.
Yeah.
We're going to exceed it and try to have something in store for you, at least as an option, even if as a company we're not making any money on it.
Yep.
So,
Like kids' meals.
yeah, exactly. I wish I could order a kid's meal. I'd get like 5 of them. You'd make money then because you're selling bulk, right? No. Well, McDonald's can dream, right?
Yeah.
They got machines that do it for them now.
You make a fraction. You just don't make cost.
No, yeah, no,
it's
not at
basically
all.
what. Yeah. Yeah. So.
But building the Baxter business, I started there. I actually helped build Little Falls. I've opened up, 5 stores now, I think, 6 stores with the company, like from bottom to top, actually setting up the stores, putting the shoes in there, teaching a team, hiring a team, getting them off and running, continuing their success moving forward. It's been crazy awesome, the involvement where you go to other businesses, you don't get that when you go into corporate worlds. This is your role, and this is all you need to know, and this is all you get to see. So, getting back to growing and learning business and where it came from, it's really just been being involved and just listening to my bosses and listening to them talk. We get to sit in on the conversations with the corporate office. How awesome is that I actually get to hear what's going on behind closed doors. I know of all the things coming out before they get released. People in my position that work for, Kohl's get, the telephone game. Someone talk to someone, talk to someone, talk to someone. You don't actually hear from your CEO very often. So, fun part about getting into like my market leader role where I'm running 9 stores right now, Minnesota and Wisconsin here, is the building of a team, success of a team, trying to drive them, to be better in ourselves in general. As like my father, always be better than yesterday. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. So, but I always just try to make the next better. Driving them and teaching them the knowledge that I have has been a lot of fun to me, to see people's eyes just explode with like, oh, I didn't even realize how important that arch is to my foot, or how important it is not to wear a tight shoe. Why the purpose that you want to tie your shoes. One that we like to talk to people about, what was it, a year or 2 ago, there was a post that came out on Facebook going, hey, Crocs are bad for your feet. And everybody went crazy about it because that was the hot fad at the time. That was the white Crocs going around like crazy. Well, when you actually go read the article, they're not saying Crocs itself are bad for your feet. If you don't have a proper support for your ankle to hold it in place, your toes actually squinch all the time. And when you do that, eventually you build arthritis, tendonitis, and other issues. So it's no different than wearing a sandal with no back, anything with a no back in general. I mean, if you're doing it short term, it's okay. But if you're walking around all day in them, you're actually harming your entire body. The other part of it is if you're moving your toes all day long, all of those tendons are connected all the way back up to the top of your neck. So you're pulling your muscles down all day long, which is what fatigues you and makes you hurt at the end of the day. You don't even realize it. So if you wear the Croc with the strap down, you're okay, because then your foot can freelance and free flow inside of the shoe. You should have very little restriction when you walk. You shouldn't have to feel like you're pushing or that you have to squinch or hold on to the shoe. A lot of people nowadays just love to slip on shoes, slip them on and off, and just go about. And, I got my Crocs. I wear them to and from, but, we want to teach you about that sort of stuff, let you know what the good and the bad is. So it's not just, well, this product itself is bad. The headlines on social media are so correct,
Yeah.
I wonder, I'd like to see the statistics on a political fact or something on accuracy of headline posts compared to what's inside the article.
Oh, that would be really interesting, because I see that a lot where, with a lot of times it's within the first paragraph that there's a sentence at least there's information that contradicts the headline. I see it so many times.
Or they use an opinionated word that makes you have to click on it. Or they use an over-exaggerated word.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's all, even, printed media is just, it's dying so quick. So, even these newspapers are moving away from print itself to, to online, and then having to be, clickbaity to get enough clicks to get the advertising dollars, so the way headlines are being written is being changed, I think, is evolving. Yeah, so absolutely.
Do you ever listen to the Steel Toe Morning Show?
No.
Okay, it's one of my favorites. I love it. It's a 3-hour radio show out of Sauk Rapids, Sartell area. They have a podcast that they do it on too on SoundCloud, but they were actually talking, and we were explaining how advertisements work on the internet and on radio. Is they actually sell advertisement space ahead of time. So you're buying the space 3-4 weeks in advance, and if they don't have a news article to go up, they've got to put something there. And so some of the stuff that comes out in the news that you're like, that's just absurd, or why is that in the news? They're literally just throwing it up to fill the advertisement space that someone has already paid for.
Sure.
And I was like, well, that's crazy to think about, because again, what it is it's manipulation in a sense, because they're just bringing up an opinionated article of an opinion of an opinion of an opinion, and there's no you're spinning just going around in a circle. There's no success that comes with it. So
for sure, yeah. Oh well, all right. What else you got written down on your list of potential things to talk about there?
Okay, so working with the people, building a place that people fell in love with coming into the store. I didn't make them fall in love with Shoe Sensation. I made them fall in love with the environment. We were there to help you. We were super nice. Again, we weren't mad when you're like, oh, I'm going to go over there and buy it because it's $5 cheaper. Oh, nope, totally get it. I'm your pocketbook, not mine. I want you to be happy. That person will come back to shop us because they realize, again, we're not there for their pocketbook. We're there to help them. So they're in a pinch. They need a pair of cleats for their kid because his broke and they need it by tomorrow. We're going to be that first option that they come to, even though we didn't get the sale that day. So just teaching my team as well, it's okay. Don't sell to today, sell to tomorrow and help that person. Everybody needs shoes. So it's not like you're trying to force something upon them that they don't need or that isn't going to make their life better. Or if they need shoes, they're coming to you, period. It's pretty simple versus, Kohl's or Target or Walmart. It's housewares, clothing, a little bit of everything in one location. So it helps when you make your team feel relaxed. And then one big thing that we do as well, we really get involved with charities in our local area. That's a big strive and why we go to small towns, and we want to keep that focus. If we don't help out our local charities, who will? Because again, you go shop on Amazon, they ain't giving money to your location. That's not happening. You're actually losing a lot of money to your area. Tax-wise, even losing money to your area that could really benefit your own city. But we get involved with local charities. We donated to the VA this year. We did a Socks for Troops event. We donated over 1,100 pairs of socks to the veterans, which is awesome. So people came in, they would buy product, they would donate. We also had some people knit some hats and gloves we gave to kids as well that were in need. People think of the military, and we have a lot of men and women that have served, but people forget that they have families as well that they're still married to and that they live with, and so like kids need help, the women need help, the men need help. It's how can we step up and do something that's and everywhere is asking for donations nowadays, so it's kind of killing the feeling of being charity, which is unfortunate. Like I don't even remember what app I was on, and I bought $5 for gems or whatever. And it popped up and said, would you like to donate to this charity thing? And I was like, this is on an app.
Yeah.
Like, to me, and I love donating and I will, but if you're almost killing the want to because you're being asked so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to Cub Foods, there's something. You go to Domino's, there's something.
The Facebook one is really weird. Like, if you mention something, it'll pop up in the bottom hey, do you want this post to be a fundraiser for this? If you mention AIDS or something, it'll be hey, do you want this to be a fundraiser for AIDS? And it's no, I'm talking about AIDS in Africa or something. I'm just making some random, or when it's coming up on your birthday, it's hey, do you want to have a fundraiser for your birthday? And it just feels like virtue signaling to me. It's kind of gross.
Well, it takes away the feel of the guest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like they're coming for your pocketbook. It feels like they're attacking you, which to me is then your difference between your private and government sector.
Mm-hmm.
When things were private, people freelanced, handed out more, but when it got so demanding.
Yep.
People then kind of withdraw a little bit, and you watch the patterns. It just happens continuously. It's crazy to watch in the numbers, but it just makes me just watch people, and I'm like, oh, just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. And I don't gamble. I don't like to lose money. There's some people that do really well at it and successful, but I stay away. Uh-huh. But I don't gamble because the numbers, they're not in your favor. And there's a purpose they're not in your favor when you're going up to play. Anytime you play, they're never supposed to be on your side. So, cards is a fun one, though.
Yeah.
You play a lot of cards yourself?
No, but yeah, I have played cards. I mean, I'm not much of a gambler either.
Yeah.
So, I did, I was doing Texas Hold'em when that was, really popular 15 years ago or something, and every bar had it.
Yep.
I grew up playing quarter blackjack with my neighbors and brothers and stuff. So it was a dollar max bet. So it was never
nothing too fancy.
Never a ton of money,
Which is crazy. North Dakota, if you go into their bars, you can play blackjack. It's awesome. Minnesota's we can't do that. And then you go to Illinois, they have slot machines sitting in their bars, which is cool. So
the one thing that I actually like to play, I lived in Washington for one winter. And I worked at a casino, and I liked playing craps. I worked at in the kitchen, obviously. So as long as I was in the uniform, I could play, and not on the clock, obviously. But yeah, I liked craps. It was very interesting. I mean, there's so much going on in craps. I was just betting the hard ways. Basically, was my best strategy, and I didn't want to touch the dice. I was I'm gonna get my bad luck all over that. But yeah, I would take $20 on payday to the craps table, and
and just
figure either walk away with some money or no money. But yeah, that was a fun one. That's a very interesting game. I wish we could do dice in Minnesota because I would like to do that.
Yeah, I like dice. And the fun part, I like numbers. When you're playing craps, when you're doing dice, you can see these numbers and these averages and things popping up, and you can kind of figure out what's going to happen. I mean, you can't be 100% accurate, but you can get yourself within a realm if you're you're
yeah,
watching
that's how
it.
you can figure out a strategy of what strategy are you comfortable with. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, that's how you see people like playing like they're betting the line or they're betting all the hard ways or they're betting, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's
They just have numbers literally
yeah.
popping up in their heads. You know,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's that movie 21, the card game about blackjack.
I don't know.
I believe it's that one. They learn how to play blackjack and how to steal from the casinos by counting the cards. And in
Yeah.
the background, you can see numbers popping up behind them.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're counting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's get into
Visually,
numbers.
like keeping 4 different decks in the back of their head.
Yeah.
And like boom, boom. That one's in that deck. That one's in that deck.
I'm a
that
plus
one's in
this,
that
I'm a
deck.
minus this, I'm
Yeah.
yep. And then they, when it gets back to the numbers, it's no different than business. Everything is about numbers. It tells you a story. You
Yeah.
can tell what's going to happen to your business before something even happens. Like I can walk into a store and say, here's what's going on, here's an issue, and here's where it's happening at. And managers look at me and be like, how did you know? You're not even here. Your numbers. Like they literally speak for what's going on. You can tell it. So it's really fun. And that's why I've been told I should gamble, because I can see these numbers in business and how to read them and stuff. And gambling's the same way. Once you can pick up on the numbers and the averages,
Yeah.
you can figure it out and find the patterns to be able to go somewhere. So, I mean, a little bit of luck has to come into play because it's gambling. Everything is the roll of the
Yeah,
dice.
for sure.
So,
yeah.
but,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get into sports betting is the one I would rather get into.
Yeah.
But Minnesota,
Again, yeah, that's a no-go here. Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't want that money.
Yeah, I know, right? Like they could at least do like at least professional sports. I can understand not doing college.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
Yeah, you could do minor league teams, you know, and I don't know what the stipulations
I can definitely see like leaving out like, high school. And,
leave out
and
anyone under 18.
Well, no, I mean like no betting on high school sports. You can't bet on who's going to win the
High
state
school.
hockey championship,
Yeah.
and things like that. And the college, just just for comfort.
Yeah, no, I'd be okay with that. I
You
mean,
know?
that's kind of a cool thing like the XFL brought is they now have the over-unders during the game. So
Oh, really?
if the game is going on, the over-under may switch, and you can then go place a different bet on the different over-under. So they're getting people involved with not only watching football, but they're getting them involved with gambling with Las Vegas as well.
Well, Vince likes money, so
Yes, he does.
Vince is still doing the XFL, right?
Yes, he
yeah,
is.
he's the one that brought it back.
Yep, he
God,
has
that's insane.
his second in command or third in command is Andrew Luck's dad. So
I don't know who Andrew Luck is.
Andrew Luck was the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. He retired this year. He was a really good quarterback. He just had injuries, unfortunately, but his father is part of the XFL to help run it. So it comes from, people that like the sport, people that want it to grow and be something
Sure.
involved and
Yeah,
things
evolve
like that.
better.
Yeah. So
Instead of evolve, not better.
yeah.
I'm not a fan of football. It's got the rules have changed so much. It's just a game I can't recognize anymore, and
Yeah.
it's made it unwatchable to me.
Yeah, no, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I like football, but that's because I play fantasy football. So
Sure.
again, there's all about the numbers.
Yeah.
You got people scoring different averages, people that are they going to catch? Are they not going to catch? What type of league are you playing?
Yeah.
Who are they going up against for a cornerback or a linebacker? What's their offensive line like? So it
Yeah.
all gets back
Yeah.
to the numbers and
Yeah, way
You know?
more stuff than I'm gonna be concerned with.
yeah. So I watch it, so you learn, kind of get a sense of that stuff. But
Yeah.
I've done well. I'm in fantasy football. It's a little bit of gambling, but
Yeah.
I've never lost money. I've won a couple times, but I've at least fared out at the end of the year, so I
Right.
never lose money on it. So it's a fun way for me to keep my mind active, as if you're doing a Sudoku puzzle or
Right.
crosswords or something. That's my way to keep my mind
Yeah.
moving. So but we should
Anyways,
get back.
yeah, you were saying you're involved with some charity.
Yes, charity groups. We especially want to be helpful with kids. Kids are always our main focus. Sometimes they fall into life that they can't control. They're not adults that can take care of themselves, who have jobs or anything like that. So we always want to be super helpful in that category. If anybody knows of any charities looking for help, please have them reach out to me. Benedict Hoge, Shoe Sensation. You can check out Facebook page as well, Shoe Sensation 877, or stop into the store. They'll be happy to talk with you. But we have done things with different organizations around. United Way has been a big one that we've really helped out because they do different lunch programs and they do different shoe program buying for people. So we actually try to help them to raise money during the year, along with holding events for them. Something that I've done as well in the past is we'll hold a special day for charities where you come into our store for the day, spend a couple hours in there and just talk about your charity organization. We'll end up giving you 10% of our sales that day to your organization. So we can help you raise money by you promoting yourself within our business at the same time. Now as a business, you got to make money, right? You can't just give away things for free.
Yeah.
So all we ask is help promote us, post on Facebook that this is going on, invite people to come in, things like that. So that's it.
Yeah.
Really simple event. You come in and we help you grow. We get people to know who you are, get more face-to-face recognition.
Cross-promotion.
Yep. Again, 70% is, all by mouth, word of mouth. So let us help you to grow. We want to raise money for you. And then you can go buy whatever shoes you want, wherever you want. Would like if you came back to us and we cut a deal for buying so many as well. So, again, as a business, you can't go broke, but we can definitely help you and reach out to find what do you need, what can we locate, especially with a bunch of businesses going down across the U.S. It's really opened up the doors for us to get even cheaper product if needed, just because Payless is gone. Walmart shoes are now
Payless is gone?
Gone. Yeah, they went bankrupt. So
wow. So there's no Payless in the mall anymore.
No,
either.
that hasn't been there now for a year and a half.
Oh my God, okay.
It's been a while, yeah. We'll see what happens with trade homes, but they've slowly been closing around the U.S. So, maybe just not the right market, and they're changing their marketing plan, which is very possible. But it's just watching all of these businesses go out. Shopko is another one. They carried a lot of shoes that we did, so they were in a lot of our markets, and they disappeared. So we've had all this opportunity as a business to continue to grow, but it's been really in the charity programs that we've been helping to grow in, and then getting the name recognition with people too, understanding that, hey, we're here to help your organization to grow. There's people that love those organizations and will shop businesses that are involved with them. And they do that because they understand that our money is going to be going back to that organization. It's not going to go to New York or Florida or Texas or somewhere else. We keep all that money local. We want to help our local community to grow and build it and make us become much stronger. If we don't do that, why would other businesses want to come into our town?
Yeah.
If you're always fighting, even though you sell the same product, if you're fighting, you're not benefiting the community, and then people won't go to either one. They'll just go to Fleet Farm, Walmart, Target, and go buy something over there instead because they don't want to deal with the drama, the issues, so that's where...
It doesn't look good.
No. So that's where we focus on our guest service, and charity's a part of that guest service. How can we help you? How can we get a cheaper product for you if you need a cheaper product? We also do work and safety. So we've got your steel toe, non-slips, oil abrasive, Met guards, electric dissipative, anything that you may need. I'm sure you're just like, yeah, sure.
Yep,
thumbs
okay.
up.
Talking shoe details that make no sense to me, but okay. I understood electric
dissipative.
Never heard that word before. I understood it as soon as you just said it, but I was just like, it never even occurred to me that you need to have shoes that protect you from getting electrified.
Yep. And who do you think would need those?
Probably electricians, yeah.
Well, not necessarily electricians. So a part of the electric dissipative is, say you work on your monitors or your motherboards. If you bring any static shock, you'll fry that whole motherboard. Thousands of dollars down the drain.
Oh.
So you need the electric dissipative to prevent from
static shock building up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, totally different than what I thought it was.
Yep.
Jeez. Okay.
And then there's steel toe, alloy toe, and then compact toe. There are 3 different types. All 3 are qualified to be able to be worn by OSHA in them. The only thing is the difference is that people use, I believe it's the compact toe, to go through metal detectors. Because there's like 3M buildings, for example, you have to go through a metal detector to get in.
Sure.
You can't wear steel toe or alloy because that'll set off in the metal detector.
Yeah. Okay.
So then you got to go to a compact toe. So we've got all the different styles
like
to protect people's feet.
Kevlar or something or what, yeah.
So here's a fun one for you as well. And this is steel toe shoes. Do you know their specific purpose?
I would assume to protect your toes.
And the answer is actually no.
Okay.
Like, it's, in a way, the answer is yes. And they're like, oh, yeah, you can drop a bowling ball on it and it's fine. Really, the purpose of the steel toe shoe or boot that you wear, if a dump truck is to go over the top of your foot, I don't care what steel toe you have, you ain't going to hold up that weight. But the steel toe will go down and cut your foot flush so you can reattach your toes. If you don't have that steel toe, your feet get crushed. They have to cut your ankle off because they can't reattach, and your bones are helped to.
Oh my God! And your bones are just crushed.
Yep.
Oh my God! I did not need to know that. I did not need to know that about steel toes. I could have lived forever just thinking like it protects your toes if you drop a bowling ball on them.
Yeah, so I mean, it does. It protects your feet.
I have the image of a foot being crushed. Like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, and that's why you need the steel toe. Because, again, it gets a clean cut so that you can... Yeah, nobody knows that. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Let's get back to charity. I don't do well with blood and guts and things. I have to, like, look away sometimes when I'm watching, like... Even, like, Walking Dead, sometimes I have to, like, oh, jeez, no, I don't want to see that. Just thinking about that, a foot being crushed, that was...
Gross, right?
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Yeah, but on a positive, if you hit your foot with like a shovel or something, you're protected. There ain't nothing going to happen to your foot. A bowling ball, wheelbarrow, cement.
I used to work at a chrome bumping plant.
Okay.
So I wasn't really. I was more afraid of a 75-pound Ford bumper falling on my foot.
Yeah, that ain't too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, when you have steel toes, it ain't bad.
Correct. But yeah, so charity groups and, getting into relation of charity groups as well, I've actually jumped on the board of another charity group this year. It's called the Poles Children's Scholarship Foundation. Sue's Pole here in the Brainerd Lakes area is the head of it. It has to do with her family. She lost her kids at a young age. They had some unfortunate disabilities, like ataxia, for example. My father actually had ataxia. And do you have any clue? I'm going to guess a lot of people don't know. So with ataxia, what ends up happening is your central nervous system in your spine just shuts down. It just slowly starts to the point where you can't move, you can't eat, your body just slowly
degrades you,
and there's nothing you can do about it. The doctors don't have any cure, help, assistance. It just, if it's genetic, it is what it is. And here's
best case scenario is pain killers, huh?
Yeah, and you're eventually going to be stuck in a bed just staring at a ceiling until your body eventually and it's slow. It's not like it's, instant or anything. Yeah. So it's an unfortunate disease. So Sue's promised her kids that she was going to help, start an organization to help other kids with same disabilities along with same likes and interests as them, to help those in need as well do more. So we've already, as an organization, we've donated to the Mounted Eagles horse therapy because their kids used to go there and do that. It's been a great organization. I know a lot of the disability places that I've worked with have the clients go there as well. It's really calming for them to do horse riding and different things like that. So it helps with emotions on a natural basis versus needing pills to help deal with it, outbreaks and stuff.
Why do the horses need therapy?
I would like to know as well. Maybe too many carrots. It might,
Actually, it's kind of an inside joke.
Oh,
no, my girlfriend's kids go to horse therapy as well. And
okay.
Then I'm a big fan of this podcaster named Andrew Heaton.
Yep.
And he loves horse jokes. He's got it's a running theme of horse jokes. And so I emailed him because my girlfriend's one of her friends had asked her, why do the horses need therapy? And I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. So I emailed that to Andrew Heaton, and he instantly turned it into a fake commercial for one of his podcasts. It was great.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, the episode was on a couple weeks ago. I'll see if I can find it and send you the episode. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I'll have to check it out for sure. But yeah, so we've done the horse therapy. We're doing as well. We're going to do a coloring contest for homeschooled kids as well, to win different prizes. Definitely check out Pull Children's Scholarship Foundation on Facebook for rules and entry for everybody. We're looking at donating a bunch of money as well to the Brainerd High School for the electronics, and they're doing what do you want to call it, robot fighting and stuff like that,
Yeah,
for kids and
nice.
electronic programs and stuff. So we're going to look at donating to help get kids into organizations like that, ones that may not be able to afford it, or we want to give that opportunity for somebody to find something their passion and their love and go with it as well. It's kind of one thing I fasten about Japan. Once they find what they love, they just put you in it and let you run with it and let you take off. In the U.S., we're like, well, no, we want to do this and then this and then this, and then we're going to bounce you all over the place. And so, it's kind of, that's what I like to try and help people do, is find what they like, help them to grow in what they love. Again, what makes you happy? As long as it makes you happy, there's really nothing wrong on earth that you do, as long as it's not interfering or harming somebody else or another individual. If you love to count daisies and it gets you paid, go to town.
Non-aggression principle. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. We both understand the non-aggression principle. It seems pretty simple to me.
Yeah. But so we are brand new. I mean, we've only had 4 meetings. I just got on the board of this.
Yeah, brand new.
Brand new, but we're in the local area, and we want to keep our donations local as well. I know we'll be looking into doing different scholarships for those looking to go to college and things like that. Every disability, deaf, blind, doesn't matter. We want to be involved and try to help everybody to have a chance. I mean, so we're just about to get our form as well that will allow us to have tax breaks. So if people donate and want the tax form to be able to get that, we're waiting for that to come. Part of being new, you got to file paperwork and wait for the government to take its time. And then
filter through that red tape.
Piece by piece. So it'll be exciting when that happens, because then we'll really be able to start growing the organization. I mean, right now we're already handing out $250 to $500 a month. We really want to try to grow that every year, so that we're always handing out, $1,000 a month to something, some program. We're going to do the VFW as well with the Bronco League and stuff. So we're going to help kids to get into sports as well that may not be able to afford it. Really trying to help out. So it's a great organization. It hits home with me. My father had ataxia, so we kind of seen the progression over time, and it's sad to see, because especially with someone's really active, my father was really into sports, all of a sudden you could see that he could barely walk or get up a flight of stairs. So someone that was active their whole life just slowly dwindling. It's not a fun process to watch by any means. So but yeah, so I just, stay focused on the community, helping out, staying around. I play a lot of community sports as well, just staying active. We need to help each other out and help our area. I know there's world issues going on, and everybody, wants to solve them, and I do too. But we can start by solving issues by just starting out small. So I like to stay local. I like to help local. I have the philosophy, if I can't buy it in town, then I'll go to another town, or I'll shop online, and I have no issues with doing that. Or if it's, $20, $30 difference, go to town. But if I can help locally, I want to try to keep our community growing in any way we can. So getting involved with sports, being involved with charities, networking is huge. I recommend to anybody doing any business, network and talk to people. There's other people out there that want to grow their business, and will help you to grow yours too, by being able to share other clientele with you. So it's huge. My brother Michael, actually, it was kind of fun. He is doing he calls himself Thriving Universe as his business. It's what they call energy work. He tries to help you heal yourself through just natural methods, which is really cool. He actually had a few people that were diabetic come in to work with him. And after a few sessions, they left, and the doctors, even when they did the test, were like, no, you're not diabetic anymore. It's gone, taken care of. So, and it's just about, it's nothing that's like, I'm a doctor, I'm going to cure you of cancer or anything like that. Some people go so far down the spectrum that they're like, oh, you're not going. No, that's not what he's talking about. It's your everyday life and improving your everyday life. If you can stay calm and collect and be, happy with yourself, your blood flow pumps better, and your blood actually naturally will take care of itself and heal you. It's why they do blood transfusions on people that are, losing blood or have bad blood. healthy blood heals you faster than any pill that you can take. So his objective is to help you to really have healthy blood, help you to be happy, just take care of your inner self and help you to control your own life. And it can make a huge difference in everything that's going on. I mean, I've seen him work with people that have, instant migraines that cripple them to the floor. Less than 5 minutes, they're like, no, it's gone, like completely. It's awesome. So, but we were down shopping in St. Cloud, and we were in an all-natural store with rocks and stuff because my wife loves rocks, It's always an easy out for me. I don't always have to do flowers. If I do, it's plants. She likes things that... rocks. Even my Uncle Kevin was like, because she had some rocks when we moved from our old house to our new one, and he came back and he's like, look, they're protected. There's nothing wrong with them. Just rocks. But we were down there.
Should have been a geologist.
Well, yeah, we could. I mean, we have enough gems in Minnesota. I mean, the agate, those things go for a pretty penny, man. It is crazy. And they're only native to this area. So if you can find someone overseas to buy.
Well, Lake Superior agate.
Yeah.
Is native to this area. There's different kinds of agates.
Yeah, but the Lake Superior agate, yeah. And then, but like over in like Japan and them, they'll pay big bucks if they're collectors because they can't get it unless they come over here. So they'll triple to quadruple pay what someone in the U.S. would pay.
Oh,
so it's kidding. Yeah, especially if you get a nice sized one. Like you can sell them for, a baseball sized one you could probably get $5,000 for if it has the right lines. Just for a rock that we pick up on the side of the road. But anyways, getting back to like the networking portion, we were down at that health location, the whatever, I don't even remember what it was called. But when we were there was a board, and it's all the other businesses that are into natural healing, into self-reflection, taking care of yourself, stuff like that. So we were able to give them a business card for my brother to help promote his business. So just even when you're not in your same town, you can still network with other people and help yourself to grow. Not everything has to be my little group or something, Business is business. Your home life is your home life. You can keep the two completely separate.
For sure. Yeah. Well, anything pressing you wanna? I'm trying to get you out the door quick. You brought your wife along here, and she's just sitting there knitting. I don't want to hold you up too long.
She loves knitting. I'm sure when we get home,
she's
she'll
mouthing
probably
something at me, but I don't know what it's saying.
Crocheting. Yes,
My
crocheting.
Bad. My bad.
She is making a bunch of like hot pads and dishcloths, different things like that, which is awesome. Her and her friends actually are looking at doing online like Etsy type stuff, so they'll be able to sell you handmade products and stuff. Arcane Moon Creations, it's already on Facebook. You can check it out, but they'll be adding like my brother's girl, she does mandalas. I don't know if you know what they are. I'm just gonna have to say you have to go look at one. They're crazy. It's all like repeated patterns.
I know what one is.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but they're all repeated patterns. So she has different stickers and things like that to put on your computers and stuff, and she'll draw personalized ones for you if you want to. So like it's just little things that they figured, if I'm gonna do this for fun, why not throw it up and see if someone wants to buy it too? What's it gonna hurt? Because you can't keep everything that you unfortunately do. You don't have enough space.
Right.
But no, I really appreciate you having me, Craig.
Yeah,
really
no problem,
enjoyable.
brother. Yeah, well, definitely have you back again. I enjoy doing this, and you're somebody who can talk a lot. I've had some people on who struggle.
It's kind of tense. That's the first time I did the radio because I did sports play-by-play for Crosby Ironton basketball. I even did the state tournament when they went there, which was really cool. But first time you get on, it's kind of intimidating.
It's nerve-wracking.
It sounds different. You don't know how it's coming across on the radio. You don't even know if you're live. There's a few times where we were talking and we got a call. They're like, dude, you're not even live, man. Like, get back on. And we're like, oh, okay. Have to dial in because the internet cuts out or, something like that. So, but I've done a few radio, so that's helped. And then I do with our company, when we do a new store open, we do live radio broadcasts.
Okay.
So I go on there and talk about my company off of a whim, off the top of my head, trying to talk about every, additional point. And
having to be sharp. Yeah, quick on the feet. Yeah, the first 4 I did oh God, they are brutal for me to listen to. Like I'm breathing heavy into the mic, and there's there's a ton of oh my God, I couldn't.
Oh, going through post-production and listening to myself stammer through sentences was just brutal. I was like, oh, my God, like, I'm a great conversationalist, and you put a mic in front of me, and all of a sudden I'm like Porky Pig, just stumbling over every word. But, yeah, good conversation for sure, and we left stuff on the table for we can talk about more next time you come back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you all. I don't know why I'm shaking your hand.
There's a door still that we got to get through here.
Yeah,
I'm sure
for
we'll,
sure.
do the famous Minnesota goodbye.
Goodbye for the next 20 minutes and everything. But
I still got a beer to finish, so.
Yeah. Thank you for all the listeners of the Electric Church podcast.